Oh, shoot. Live reaction, eh?
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, is that me? Oh, yo.
Hey, we're live. What's up, man?
Hey. Oh, wait, you got a mic?
Yeah, bro.
Testing, testing. Hello?
Yeah. I don't think your mic's very clear. Do you have a lav?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Oh, God, okay, so there we go.
Man, it's an honor to have you on the show. You're the first social media influencer.
You're back.
Yeah. This man has just hit 10,000 followers on TikTok. I feel like I'm in the presence of the Asian Logan Paul right now. Or
I can be either good or bad. I don't know.
Well,
Depending on who you are.
if you're in Japan, maybe bad.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Man, you're one of the people that I've known the longest since like childhood. It's weird doing this because, like I was saying earlier, we talk every day, so it's weird having kind of it being in a more formal setting.
Yeah, it's like we gotta reenact our conversations as if it was like the first time.
I know. So it's like asking you questions like,
Yeah.
so
Damn,
how was
that's
your
crazy.
childhood? Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Oh, I didn't know this at all. Oh, that's good. Growing up, you've always been one of the most talented people I know because a lot of things that you put your hat in, you always end up thriving in, whether it be like basketball or dancing.
House league basketball.
Too humble.
Two different things.
Yeah, no, whether it be basketball or even dance, anything that you've thrown your hat into, you've always succeeded at in some level.
Yeah.
Whether it be, house league MVP or...
Yo, house league, man.
Did it start with CYO or did it start with like those and one videos that you and Paulo would always like try and recreate and do?
I played since I was like 4 or 5.
Really?
Like I was in a YMCA league as a kid. Yeah.
That was
before CYO,
what?
I did that.
No
yeah.
way.
The rims were low, so you were always like dunking and stuff, right? So that's when I started playing ball.
Oh.
And then the street ball kind of got us back into it.
The Nautic?
The Nautic, yeah. You realize you can't use those moves though in real basketball. So you kind of sucked when it was real basketball.
Did you ever try them in like a real game in a CYO?
Oh, no, never. You kind of know which moves you can use, and 90% are travels. So
I feel like that would get you benched like right away, especially where like you tried to do what was it called? The slip and slide?
Slip and slide, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going to the army and some guy tries a 360 no scope. Like it's no different. Like it's the same concept.
How'd you start with dance? Was it like watching tutorial videos or?
Man, yeah. Back in high school, grade school, we always watched C-Walk videos. And I remember there was this one school dance we had, and everyone's like, I don't know, I was doing like this back in Soldier Boy, the crank that was a thing. Like we got on stage, all of us are doing the crank that, and all the kids were going crazy, right? Because we're the grade 8s and everyone's like just watching us. And I pull up the C-Walk, and everyone was like, yo, what's that guy doing? Like no one's ever seen it before. And then after I did it, I went back to the floor because like we were just all chilling. Everyone was doing the C-Walk, and I'm like, yo, what the heck's going on? Like everyone's trying to do it. Like, how'd you do that? And that's when I was like, yo, like this is kind of fun. Yeah, and I never really did much with it. It was just kind of. So everyone was like, oh, this guy can dance. He can C-Walk. And in my head, I'm like, I can't dance at all.
It's just one of those things where it's like you picked it up and it was like, oh, this is fun. And then you just kind of had fun with it. Even going down to like the guitar or the ukulele.
Music. Oh my God. It's like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Guitar it's all YouTube. Like, like AJ
all
Raphael
YouTube
and Gabe Bondoc, JRA, Passion. Like
YouTube back in the day, it was dominated by Asian.
Yeah, it was like
Asian performers.
All those guys. Yeah, Tev Jumba. That's what got us into it too, actually. I'm pretty sure we tried getting on there. Yeah, we just knew it was all Asian people. So it's like
yo, if they can do it,
make it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems easy. Nah, man, that was the biggest flop of life right there. Talk about it's like Kwame Brown, first round pick. Bust, yo. I'm like, man, I think I might make it. I got like 5,000 views on a video. I thought that was making it.
It's crazy to see how you're so talented in all of these different avenues, but when you went off to university, you went for economics. You've always had more of an artsy side to you, but you kind of went more of the business and finance route.
I liked math growing up. Typical Asian, obviously. Oh, like, was good at math. Like, I actually did enjoy math. So I was like, what's out there that's like math related? And econ seemed to be more, I guess, sort of math focused. And I hated accounting. Couldn't do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you slave yourself for like how long of a day. And I guess it's no different than econ in a way. But yeah, I don't understand why I really took it looking back now. I should have probably taken like marketing or something.
Which is crazy to say because eventually you started going down that route. We've talked about this so many times, but that one conversation that we had in Krabby Joe's.
Oh, yeah, with Paulo.
With Paulo. Yeah. Where basically I had at the time, my eureka moment where it was like, what are we doing?
6 years ago. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Because we had all graduated at the same time.
We didn't even know what we were doing at the time.
I remember we were talking about, it's like, why don't we try the more creative pursuits? Because you were fresh out of economics. Paulo was fresh out of I know it's environmental science, but for whatever reason my gut instinct is always to say geology at first. I don't know why, but it's funny because eventually that's what led to us going down the path that we are on, which it's been a long journey since then.
It has been, yeah.
For you, it all started with photography. I know that back at Western you were doing photos and videos for what was it? The Chinese
like Filipino club, man. The Filipino club.
Yeah.
It was the dance crew, actually.
Yeah.
It's crazy, yeah, because I remember in high school we used to make all these videos, like we were talking about, I don't know, funny skits or covers, like anything that was fun or we thought we'd get famous off of. Yeah. And like even as a kid, actually, like I guess I'll preface it in a way, but like as a kid, I always had like my parents' VHS whatever recorder, like I don't even know what they're called, to be honest. Yeah, we would just like me and my brother would record so much stuff, like us playing basketball. It was like a vlog style video. I don't know, it just felt like so involved in my life that it was always there. From high school, I want to say grade 11 up until like the end of third year, I didn't have a camera. That's when I like picked up the camera again in school so I could start filming like videos for like the dance crew. And I didn't really do photos at the time. I was actually just strictly videos. That's kind of like where I picked it up again. Like I realized like, like I've always recorded stuff. I've always used like the camera, and how come I put it away for so long? And that's kind of like where I reignited the passion, I guess you could say, for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then eventually you started taking it more seriously.
Yeah.
What was your first camera? Was it a T3i?
It was T3i. Oh, I've had so many different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, T3i was the first one I had. Yeah.
T3i was the first. And then you went from that T3i.
I went from a T3i to the GH4.
GH4,
6D. Now I'm on the Sony A7 III.
You're on the Sony. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a very impulsive, not impulsive. I don't even know what you call it, but I don't know. I was just stupid.
You like to upgrade, yeah. And
yeah. That's what I did, and that's when I realized. I'm like, when I started buying these things more, it made me think like I was taking it more seriously. You know, like I wasn't just buying it as a hobbyist. You know, like there was something more than just a YouTube video that we're doing for fun with friends out there in the world.
Because eventually that transition from those early videos you were doing with like the Canon, it was like those early edits, like those nature edits,
it was like those cinematic things that I thought they were so cool. And I'm like, everyone on YouTube is doing it. It's the whole travel scene, you know. Everyone's
exactly.
If you're listening at all, you've probably seen it all, like the Sam Cold edits, you know, the zoom transition, EDM. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was doing it. I'm putting transitions in for no reason, like just no one, because they look cool. No one. Yeah, Kris, let's put a zoom transition here and looks cool. And I'm like, this is sick. But that's actually like, it sparked it. That whole like scene, you know, like reignited me wanting to make more stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, that segued into more like actual videos. So more like work for like other people. So like weddings or like interviews and all that stuff. I realized I'm like, like there's more to video than just for yourself. You can make money out of it, which was kind of cool. Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, that pushed you into more of the digital marketing side of things.
100%. Yeah. No, right out of school, I worked for Bell, like a cell phone company, as a sales rep. After that, I worked at TD, so the bank. And that's kind of like going through like the whole econ pathway, you know, worked at the bank. It makes sense to work there. I hated that, you know, like couldn't see that as a future. After that, I quit. I started my first marketing agency, and it was a little more exciting. You dealt with more like creative stuff, coming up with, you know, like digital campaigns and whatnot. And then I left that, actually. I went back into like more analyst role. And I was kind of like, what the heck? Like it was kind of weird, you know. Went back to the whole boring computer desk work stuff. And then ultimately left that for another marketing place. So that's kind of the journey, I guess, of me.
There's this one video that I have not watched. I don't know when the last time you watched it.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it in a while, and I wanted to bring it up because this specific video has a very special significance for not just you, but also me.
Oh, shoot. I have a reaction, eh?
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, is that me? Oh, yo.
I haven't watched this in so long, but.
Yo, we look young, man. This is back in our prime. Yo, look at that edit.
I know.
We'll look up. Okay, go. And we use the same clip, the same spot. We just switch people. Like
we just switch.
Oh man, this is clip here. Yo, fun fact: BJ kept those. That was a good video.
It's so weird watching that back. I don't think either of us would have predicted what path it would have put us on, because that was one of those 100%. Things you were saying earlier. We just did that for fun. Maybe we'll go viral. Who knows?
Yeah, 5,000 views later.
For you, it's very poetic in a way, because as of recently, Mr. 10,000 followers on TikTok, it's like it's come full circle. Those original pursuits of like, oh, let's make content and then just put it out have evolved to this. So
yeah, it's crazy. Like, yeah, we were doing this as kids, like for fun, like just hit each other up saying, yo, what are you doing? Want to make a YouTube video? It's weird though, like what you're saying, how like it's come full circle. Like that's basically like what my jobs have been me, you know, creating content like that, or the other jobs I've done like as myself, like just recording videos, taking photos. But yeah, never like in a million years that I think that like that's what like the pathway would be on, you know?
Yeah, like quarantine has been a weird blessing in disguise, losing our jobs and everything. That's what kind of, we're like, oh, I have all this free time. That's how you started making TikToks more.
Yeah, because actually during pre-quarantine days, it's funny because like I wanted to leave that job so badly just because like we just felt so constricted, right? Like I had to like follow the guidelines, and there was a lot of work I was turning down because once you work for an agency, like you can't do work for like your clients competing. So like if we worked on a hair salon, I couldn't work on any other hair salons. So I had to turn a lot of those down, and I did a lot of work for like hair salons or just the fashion scene in general. So yeah, for the longest time, I was like, man, I want to leave this place. So I guess like you said, in a way, it's a blessing because, you know, getting laid off due to COVID, like I still can collect money from the government, and like it gave me a reason to get out. So I was like, win-win, you know, if I quit, I would have just been kind of shafted in the end. But yeah, like you said, quarantine, like making TikTok videos. Like,
yeah.
That started off as a joke. Like I've had TikTok actually since September. I used it as a viewer. Like I only had the app just to, you know, tune in, kind of like the Vine days. That's actually what I even used it for. Like a lot of the jokes and memes were kind of like Vine-esque, you could say. Yeah, like quarantine happened and I was like, how else do you fill in time? Let's make TikToks or something like that. Which is kind of stupid. I don't even know. It's funny. You asked me the same question in like 6 months. I didn't ever think I'd be on TikTok making videos.
It goes back to, you know, our roots of just doing it for fun. But then this one particular video.
Oh, yeah. This is the first one. Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, my shit.
It was right before I went on that social media detox. I didn't even know you were on TikTok.
Yeah.
But you had posted that on Instagram, and I was like, okay.
I didn't want to be that guy. I hated being the guy that posted on Instagram. But that one in particular, it got a lot of like views. And that was a video that everyone was messaging me. They were like, yo, like, are you on TikTok? And I had maybe people I hadn't talked to in years. Like they DM'd me on Instagram or Facebook and they're like, is this you? And from that same video you just showed. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And that's when I started thinking, I'm like, I reached a lot of people with that. And it was just over something that like, not so stupid, but like, it was just so simple. Like I just filmed me cutting my hair.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just put so much, not really much work into it, but yeah, people hit me up. And that's when I started to realize, I'm like, yo, like, is this an app that I could use? Like to make stuff on? Like, what the heck? It hit like 1,000 likes in like a couple of days. Like, I don't know. That's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but like to me, as a guy that had 50 followers at the time, I posted that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, people are liking this. And I was watching the video, like the views and the likes go up. And I'm like, yo, what's going on right now? You know? And I went from like 50 followers. So I think I went to like 500 that week. And I was like, yo, this is a huge jump. I'm like half the amount of followers I have on Instagram, which is weird. I kept thinking about it. I'm like, should I make another video? So yeah, I started to do more and more. And ultimately over time, like I was posting actively since April, like whenever quarantine happened or whatever, each video, like, I don't know, you hit and miss on videos. It's kind of tough, the app. Yeah, the algorithm's kind of weird. Some topics top creators, they don't even get many views on certain videos and stuff. But that kind of transitioned into like making more videos. And then I don't even know, man, it's weird.
Because after that, the ones that really hit were hitting like 500,000 plus.
Yeah. Before you went off the grid, I remember I was at like 4,000. I'm pretty sure it was 4,000.
No. Before I went off the grid, you were still at around 400 or 500 followers, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I remember. Okay.
But like randomly, when I was at around day 30 without social media, I don't know. I had this random inkling. I was like, I wonder what Kris has been up to on TikTok. I just remember looking through my phone, obviously because I didn't have any of the apps. I just went on like the site and I looked you up. I saw your follower count was at like 5,000. I'm like, wait, what? And then I was scrolling through all your videos and I saw all the ones with like 500,000 plus like views. And I was like, this dude went off. What the heck?
Yeah, crazy, man. Yeah. It's funny. Like you don't think that's the way you would be using before quarantine. Like none of us were on the app. Like I think I was the only person on the app watching. Yeah, like it was weird. Like I remember you texted me about that. You're like, how the heck is this possible? I'm like, bro, honestly, I have no idea. Most of these people watch, they're probably like, oh, 5,000, that's not much. Because like they probably follow guys obviously with like 50,000, 100,000 followers. But man, for dudes like me and you, like for guys I tried starting on YouTube, Vine, even Instagram or whatever, like we're seeing like, I see like 1,000 followers. I hit 1,000. I was like, oh crap. Like
it's getting surreal. Yeah.
Am I famous? I'm like, nah, I ain't famous. That's 1,000 followers. That's not a lot. But to me, I think it's a lot, you know?
Oh no.
That's especially like considering I didn't think I'd ever have that many. I don't know, man. You think of all these years we tried doing this and it's like Vine. I think I had like 40 followers on Vine.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I feel like TikTok's peak is way bigger than what Vine's ever was.
Yeah.
Because TikTok's way more global than Vine.
TikTok has music, which helps. Like
and
I found that
6 seconds.
Yeah, Vine was a lot of you had to be creative, right? So I guess that you get a lot of like stolen jokes on TikTok and whatnot, and the same trends you see, but that's like good. You know, like if you really want to grow, you just follow the trends. You use like a big song. Whereas Vine, like you had no audio and you had 6 seconds. When Vine first started, you had 6 seconds. So like your joke, it had to hit right away.
It had to hit.
It is hard. Yeah. But TikTok, you got music. And when you incorporate music, that's where you can do like so much more.
So many possibilities.
Yeah. Like you got people doing like fashion. You have people doing food videos, people doing dances. You already know TikTok's about dance, but it's become so much more than just dancing these days.
It's become a platform for not just like dance, almost akin to YouTube, where it's like you can find almost anything on TikTok.
Anything you want. Like, yeah, you want to learn about photography. Like there's people on there that I follow, like they teach you mini hacks. A lot of them actually come from YouTube. They start off on YouTube and they get on TikTok and they start posting their tutorials because they know that this is the app you need to be on if you want to, you know, kind of make it in a way.
And the layout is a lot more accessible than say YouTube. Because with YouTube, obviously you have to search for the video you're looking for. Then you have to scroll through and everything.
Exactly.
With TikTok, we were talking about this the other day, how you could get caught up just scrolling through TikTok for like an hour and you don't even realize an hour's gone by. You're like, what? Oh.
YouTube used to be the same way, which is crazy to think. Same with Instagram, but now you see yourself on YouTube and Instagram less and less these days. View counts for a lot of the creators on those apps are going down. No one wants to watch 5-10 minute videos and photos on Instagram is, I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how I'm on this app. Like it's so weird. Like it's weird how it's even become a thing in my life.
With the current situation of everything going on in the world, we're in a very indefinite time. So it's hard to plan out what's going to happen like 6 months from now, a year from now, because honestly, we don't know. In terms of like jobs in the sectors that you and I work in, they're very contingent on people.
It is 100%.
So right now we're in a position where that initial dream, that initial vision we had as kids of wanting to create, it's been given to us on a silver platter where it's like,
it really has. Yeah.
If you want to do this and you want to be serious about it, this is your time now.
Like there's no pressure in terms of like a job holding us back.
No, absolutely not.
Which is crazy. Yeah. And at the time as kids, like, I don't know about you, but like for me, it's like, I couldn't do it because I had another job. Your parents want you to do one thing and it's like, what do? You know, like Asian parents, man, they want you to do whatever, like become a doctor or you go to school for something, and if you don't do the thing you go to school for, it's like, oh, I wasted X times, however many years you went there for, whatever, dollars. Yeah, like you too, man. Like you were like you're in this whole creative scene now too. You're taking full advantage of learning. It is crazy how like this is the time for us to capitalize on this situation.
Honestly, I don't think there will ever be a point in history where we'll have this much free time.
Yeah, like when's the last time you were able to like wake up and just, if you wanted, you can sleep through the whole day and it just not matter.
Yeah. Obviously you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, but
like with you, like you've learned so much. I remember you told me like you're learning about like marketing work, right? And like when would you ever been able to do that before?
No, exactly.
You would have no time. So like in a way, yeah, this whole thing is kind of, it's like blessed us in a way, you know? You kind of like shape into like what you want to do or realize what you want to do and what you don't want to do.
I'm not just saying this as your friend. I could see you hitting like 100,000 like in the next. No, I'm serious. Yeah, you started in March, and from then you just skyrocketed to 10,000. And what I've found from a lot of social media content creators is that once you start building your audience, you just start rising even faster and faster.
It's like a snowball effect. Yeah.
From then on, it's just you're just going up. So I could see you potentially hitting 100,000 by the end of the year.
Jeez, damn, that would be insane.
Yeah. Moving forward, what's your plan in terms of taking advantage of the free time that you have?
I think like the main thing I want to get into would probably be like photography, videography related. Because what I've done, like even on TikTok, like I've done some photography video stuff, you know, and it's fun. But then I realized you can do that same thing for brands, for other companies. And I love being able to see like the work you put in and how it like benefits a company.
Yeah.
You know, like whether it be like a restaurant, you shoot like a photo shoot for them or a video shoot, and you realize like, oh, this video got them this many views and this many followers, and it was able to help them reach people that they ultimately wouldn't have gotten to without it. I guess that's like an avenue of I'm like looking into, like just the whole creative scene. But who knows? I don't even know what company it's gonna be for, if it's for myself or an agency or in Brantford or whatever part of the world it's gonna be in. I have no idea.
Well, it's great because now that everything's slowly opening back up, we had these discussions before where we kind of had to put those plans kind of to the side, to the back burner.
Yeah, because we talked about this before. Yeah.
Yeah. Now with everything opening back up, restaurants, different companies and agencies, they're slowly going to start looking to promote themselves again because we're slowly getting back to normal. I was listening to a podcast earlier today. They were saying how if a company was looking at two people with like the exact same skill set, but one guy had like 20 followers and the other guy had 2,000, the guy with 2,000 is going to get that edge just because of it's like, okay, well, he knows what he's doing in the social media space. And when you're working with digital branding, digital marketing, social media is like the biggest thing. So sometimes the person who's less talented, but has the bigger social media following has the edge usually, which is
weird.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you look at it like that, like, yeah, you have such a big following. Like you might not have the great skill sets compared to like other people, which is weird to think. But like, if you're able to brand something and know your audience, like that's like what places go for, you know, like I've seen a lot of places, they don't have like the best photography work or something, but like they got a lot of followers, which is weird. Like you wouldn't think of it like that. So it makes me wonder, it's like, what does the audience want? You know, like, do they want like the best looking things or they just want something that like they can relate to? So the world's kind of weird in that sense.
It's a shitty reality we live in where the number of followers or the number of likes you have is essentially currency.
It is in a way. Yeah.
I feel like you have to know that when you're going into this business that
you do. Yeah.
I have to have a certain number for
it's like your resume almost in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like it sucks to admit it, but like it's such a thing, like especially if you go to LA, like a lot of like most of the people there from what I watch on like podcasts, they're so like numbers driven in terms of like, if he doesn't have this many followers, why would I hang out with him? Or would I want to be seen doing work with him? And I'm like, is that real life right now? You know, like our lives depend on social media status that defines our real world status. Yeah. And it's kind of like, have you seen Black Mirror?
No, but I know what episode you're talking about that I hear about all the time.
Yeah, it's the episode where like I think the wedding, and to get invited to the wedding, your social score has to be some certain number. And I'm like, that's such a true way of looking at our lives right now.
At the end of the day, though, I do feel like, and I truly do believe that quality will be the ultimate factor, and that's what like will push you forward, especially when you're coming up.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that get overlooked because like the lack of experience.
And the lack of followers.
Yeah, lack of followers, exactly that. Like there's so many talented people out there that they just don't have the right connections, but they kill it.
They just need that one door to open. That starts the domino effect. The truly great quality will stand the test of time. You could be well connected, but if what you're putting out sucks, you can only get so far. If the quality of content that you're putting out is actually good, and then you get those connections, oh man, like possibilities are endless.
Yeah, like there's people I followed on YouTube. They're like smaller creators, right? But honestly, like the stuff they put out is way better than like some guys I follow that are at like 1 million. And these guys have like 15, 20, 30, 50K subs, but like they're killing it. And like, I'm thinking, I'm like, just because like they don't have the clout, no one really knows about them, but like their work itself is way better than so many people that I've watched.
If you're doing it and you're experiencing like a deeper level of fulfillment and joy, then that's how you know like that's something you should be doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you get different fulfillments, like whether it be like helping someone out or making someone laugh in that way. Like rather than like posting a topless photo of myself, oh, let's get fun with these kids, I'm gonna like it. And it's like, no, man, that's not fulfilling. Like that's just you're trying to validate yourself for other reasons.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered a lot of ground. Whoever ends up listening to this, they'll most definitely get something out of it. So
yeah. If you're listening to this, what's up? I'm not gonna plug. Be one of those guys. Follow me on this.
Yo, follow me on OnlyFans.
That's the only thing I care about because that gives me the money. Everything else is just a number, but that you get some value out of that.
Oh God.